My brother Joshua calls me worthless in the living room on a Sunday afternoon. He says it calm and certain, like he's stating a fact everyone already knows. You're unreliable, Maya. You always have been. Dad knows it. Mom knows it. I know it. I'm standing in the kitchen doorway. My coffee is getting cold in my hand. I say nothing. No one interrupts him. My father doesn't defend me. My mother looks away toward the window. The silence in the room tastes like poison. Then my father nods. Just once. A slow, deliberate nod that says Joshua is right about me. That nod changes everything. It's the moment I realize I'm not fighting against one person. I'm fighting against the entire family's belief in a lie. I feel my face go hot. I want to scream. I want to throw the coffee cup. But I don't. I set the cup down on the counter and walk out of the room. Later, alone in my apartment, I replay that moment over and over. That nod. And I make a decision. I'm going to watch. I'm going to listen. I'm going to learn exactly how Joshua built this version of me, and then I'm going to take it apart. But I don't know it yet. That nod is just the beginning. I hear my brother retelling my life to relatives 2 days later. I'm in the kitchen, and he's in the living room with my aunt and cousin. He doesn't know I'm listening. Maya's always been the dramatic one, he's saying. She takes things personally. She blows up over small stuff. That's why she can't hold down jobs. That's why her relationships don't work out. My stomach twists. Every single thing he said is a distortion, twisted just enough to sound believable. He continues. She made a mistake at work last month, a pretty big one, and instead of owning it, she blamed her manager. Classic Maya. This is the lie that hurts most. I didn't blame anyone. I told my family what happened. And somehow, in Joshua's retelling, the facts have been flipped. I become the problem. He becomes the honest observer. I watch from the doorway as people stop asking me questions. They start directing their comments to Joshua instead. How's she really doing? They ask him, not me. I'm standing right there, but I've become invisible. After they leave, I sit on my bed and count the distortions. 7 in 10 minutes. I realize Joshua has been doing this for years. I just never noticed because I was too busy defending myself. This time, I don't defend myself. This time, I start listening. Late at night, I pull up my old messages and notes. I go back 6 months. Then a year. Then 2 years. I'm looking for dates. I'm looking for proof. Joshua told my aunt that I blamed my manager for a mistake last month. But when I checked the dates in my calendar, that mistake happened in March, 8 months ago. He got the timing wrong, or he changed it on purpose. I dig deeper. I find an old text from my mom about a family dinner Joshua said never happened. It did happen. I have the date. I have the photo. Then I find the big one. Joshua told our family that he helped Dad with the business investment that went wrong 5 years ago. He said he did everything he could to prevent the loss. But I have an email from Dad. Maya found the error before it cost us. Without her, we would have lost everything. I read that email 3 times. Joshua didn't help prevent the loss. I did. And somehow, he convinced everyone that he was the hero and I was invisible. I save the email to a folder on my computer labeled proof. I'm not crazy. I'm not remembering things wrong. He lied deliberately. This is when I become the person who documents. I start paying attention to how decisions get made in my family. Real attention. The first thing I notice, I'm never in the room when they happen. Last month, my parents decided to renovate the house. Joshua was there. I found out through a text message. When I asked why I wasn't included, my mom said it was a quick conversation, but it took 3 hours and involved detailed budget planning. Then there's the holiday planning. My brother always speaks first. Mom, what if we did Thanksgiving at my place instead of the house? Suddenly, everyone's nodding. My mother starts checking his availability, asking about his preferences. No one asks me. The money stuff is worse. My parents have a medical fund they set aside for emergencies. Joshua asked to borrow from it for a car repair. They said yes immediately. When I needed help with a dental emergency, they told me it wasn't appropriate to use family money. But the worst part comes when a family choice needs justification. My aunt asks why I'm not invited to a weekend trip. My mom hesitates, then says, "Maya's unreliable. We never know if she'll show up." I'm standing right there. I can feel my face burning. But I don't argue. I just nod and excuse myself. Later, I check my calendar. I've made every single family event. But that's not the story they're telling. That night, I start a new spreadsheet. I label the columns: date, event, decision, who was present, what was said about me. I'm building a map. And every entry proves the same thing: I'm being written out of my own family. 2 weeks later, I'm having dinner with my family, and my father brings up a memory from my childhood. "Remember when you were 8, and you broke that vase?" he says. I do remember. But there's a problem with his version. I didn't break it. Joshua did. We were playing ball in the house, and his throw hit the shelf. I took the blame because I thought it would make him feel better. When I correct my father gently, the room goes silent. Then Joshua jumps in. "No, Maya, that was you. I remember." Mom was so upset. My mom nods. "It was definitely you, honey." But I can see it in her eyes. There's hesitation. She's not sure, but she's going to agree with him anyway. I don't push back. Instead, I excuse myself and go to my room. I sit in the dark and feel something break inside me. This is gaslighting. This is what it feels like. I know what happened, but they're telling me I'm wrong. The next day, I stop correcting them. Instead, I start documenting. I buy a small notebook. Every time someone gets a memory wrong, I write down the date, what they said, and what actually happened. I start taking photos of old pictures. I save old group texts. A week later, my mom calls to apologize. She says she thinks I was right about the vase. But I don't feel vindicated. I feel scared. Because now I understand, they're not trying to hurt me on purpose. They've just accepted Joshua's version of reality so completely that the truth doesn't matter anymore. And I'm the only one who remembers. I spend 3 months mapping out conversations. I create a timeline on my laptop. I color code lies by type, fabrications, exaggerations, false credit, blame shifting. The pattern is unmistakable. Every time something goes wrong in my brother's life, I get blamed in his place. When his business project failed, he told my parents it was because I gave him bad advice. When his relationship ended, he said it was because of stress from my drama. When he failed a class in college, he told my parents the professor had it out for him. But more than that, every time something goes right for him, he takes the credit. That business deal. He tells people it was his idea. The committee he joined at work. He acts like he was selected specially. The house he bought. He brags about being a savvy investor, but he got the down payment from our parents. And I'm always the reference point he uses to make himself look better. One incident costs me something permanent. Last year, my parents decided to invest money in a family trust. They were going to include both of us equally. But Joshua told them I was irresponsible with money. And somehow, in the final paperwork, I got a smaller share. I didn't even know about the trust change until I accidentally saw the document. When I asked about it, my mom said, "Well, Joshua seems more interested in building a financial future." He's not more interested. He's just louder. That night, I add the trust to my timeline. And I realize, this has cost me more than money. It's cost me my credibility, my voice, my place in my own family. But I also realize something else. I have proof of all of it. My cousin Chloe calls me on a Thursday night. She's the smart one in the family, the one who actually pays attention. "Maya, can I be honest with you?" she says. My heart jumps. Finally, someone sees it. "I've been noticing some stuff that doesn't add up," she continues. "About what Joshua says about you. I don't think things are the way he tells them." I want to cry. I want to pour everything out. But then she says, "I don't want to get involved though. It's family stuff, and I don't want drama." And just like that, My hope collapses. So I'm telling you because you should know someone noticed, she says. But I can't really do anything about it. I hope that's okay. It's not okay. But I tell her it is. We talk for a few more minutes, and she says something that sticks with me. I believe you though. If it ever comes down to it, I believe you. But belief without action is just sympathy. And sympathy doesn't change anything. After we hang up, I add a note. Chloe, witnessed inconsistencies, will confirm if asked, fear of conflict. I realize I can't rely on anyone else to fix this. Even the people who see the truth are too scared to speak up. So I stop hoping for rescue. I stop hoping someone will defend me. I just keep documenting. I keep waiting. The only person who can do this is me. I change my strategy. I become agreeable. I become harmless. I become the sister everyone stops paying attention to. When Joshua makes a ridiculous claim, I don't challenge him. When he contradicts himself, I stay quiet. When he takes credit for things, I don't roll my eyes. I don't react at all. My silence becomes my weapon. Joshua grows bolder. He becomes careless. He stops checking his facts because he's so used to me not fighting back. He assumes I'm not paying attention. He assumes I've given up. He has no idea I'm recording everything. A month into this strategy, something happens. Joshua is at my parents' house telling a story about a business problem he solved. My dad's friend from work is there. Joshua tells the story one way, and then the friend says, "Wait, I thought your dad said you called him for help on that." Joshua fumbles. He changes his story on the spot. He says he did call Dad, but just for confirmation, not help. But the friend is looking at him funny now. The friend knows he's lying. I'm sitting on the couch, completely still, not reacting. But inside, I'm thinking, he just contradicted himself in front of two people. He's getting sloppy. That night, I add the interaction to my timeline with a note, inconsistency witnessed, 2 independent sources. My silence is working. My brother is becoming so comfortable that he's starting to slip. I realize I'm closer to something. I don't know exactly what yet, but I can feel it. I find the voicemails on a random Tuesday. I'm cleaning out my old phone, and I realize I never deleted the messages from 5 years ago, the ones from my parents about the business investment. I have 6 voicemails from my dad, and in one of them, he's explaining what happened. Maya, I wanted you to know. Joshua didn't understand the numbers like you did. You're the one who caught it. I'm going to fix this, and I wanted to thank you. I play that voicemail 3 times. My dad. Saying thank you. For something Joshua has spent 5 years taking credit for. I also find written proof. An old notebook where my dad had written notes about the decision process. In it, he's clearly documented what I contributed and what Joshua contributed. The math is clear. I did more. I was more helpful. That notebook is sitting in a drawer in my closet. I've had it for years and almost threw it away a dozen times. I take photos of every page. I save the voicemails to my computer. I back them up to 2 different places. I have proof now. Real proof. One recording shifts blame unmistakably onto him. It's my dad, clearly stating that I saved the family money and Joshua didn't. I sit on my bed and listen to that voicemail again. My dad sounds proud of me. That voice is the one they've tried to erase. But I have it. I have proof that I matter. And now I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. Sensing that his control might be slipping, Joshua escalates. He starts making subtle warnings about me to family members. Always framed as concern. I'm worried about Maya. She seems depressed. Or, I think Maya might be having a breakdown. Have you noticed? He says these things with a worried expression, like he cares about me. It's genius manipulation, and it works. My mother starts asking me if I'm okay. My dad starts watching me with concern. I can feel the narrative shifting again. Joshua is trying to make people question my credibility before I can use it against him. He pushes for a formal family decision without me. He calls my parents and says he thinks we should have a serious talk about future family arrangements. He suggests that I might not be in the right headspace to participate. My mother tells me about it, and I can hear the doubt in her voice. That's when I understand. He knows something is coming. He can feel it. And he's trying to inoculate everyone against me before I can tell the truth. I don't panic. I don't speed up my timeline. Instead, I text my cousin Chloe and ask if she wants to grab coffee. I'm not going to confront the family yet. First, I'm going to make sure my witnesses are solid. I'm quietly removed from an important family role. No explanation given. My parents had been talking about making me a secondary trustee on their estate. It was happening next month. My dad mentioned it casually one day, and I felt like I mattered again. Then it stops being mentioned. A week later, I ask about it. My mother looks uncomfortable. She says, "Well, we decided to make Joshua the trustee instead. He's better suited for the responsibility right now." I ask what that means. She doesn't give me a real answer. When I push, she says, "Joshua's more organized. He understands the financial stuff better." But we both know that's not why. Joshua got the role because my parents are convinced he's reliable. And he's convinced them that I'm not. The reason given for my exclusion is something Joshua did, his success, his responsibility. But it's built entirely on lies. I feel the sting of it. Being pushed out of your own family's future is painful. But I don't cry. I don't yell. I just nod and say, "Okay." That night, I make a note, official exclusion, estate decision. And I think, okay, Joshua. You want to accelerate this. Let's accelerate it. I accept the loss publicly. I tell my family that I understand why Joshua would be the better choice for trustee. I tell them I'm fine with it. I even congratulate him. Joshua's face when I congratulate him is priceless. He's so shocked that I'm not fighting that he actually looks uncomfortable for a second. But I'm not fine. I'm just done seeking fairness. Privately, I prepare. I organize my documentation. I sort through my files. I listen to the voicemails again. I review the timelines. I make sure every fact is airtight. Then I do something that changes everything. I ask one precise question to the right person. My dad's accountant. The man who helped manage the business investment 5 years ago. I reach out and ask if he remembers the decision process. I ask if he remembers who contributed what. He calls me back within an hour. "Maya, I was hoping someone would ask me about this," he says. "Your brother's been taking credit for catching that error, and it's been bothering me for years. You're the one who caught it. You saved your family hundreds of thousands of dollars." My hands are shaking. Would you be willing to say that in a family conversation? I ask. There's a pause. Then he says, "Yeah, I would. I have my witness. I have my proof. I have my moment. Everything else is just waiting for the right time." Chloe calls me a week later. She sounds different. Shaken. "Maya, I need to tell you something," she says. My heart stops. I was thinking about that time I visited when I was 16. The time your family decided to invest in the business thing. And I just realized, the story Joshua tells about that. It doesn't match what I remember at all. I don't say anything. I just listen. "I remember you being the one who was really involved," she continues. "I remember you and your dad going over papers. I remember you asking questions that nobody else was asking. And I remember Joshua being kind of on the sidelines." This is it. This is the moment someone else's memory aligns with mine. "I realized the timeline in his story doesn't make sense," Chloe says. "And I feel terrible because I could have said something years ago, but I didn't want to get involved." "It's okay," I tell her. "And I mean it. Is there something I should know?" she asks. "Is this going somewhere?" I pause. Then I ask, "Would you look at something for me? And would you be willing to talk to my family about what you remember?" "Yes," she says. "Whatever you need." I send her the documentation. The timeline. The voicemail. The photos. Everything. She's quiet for a long time after she reads it. Then she says, "Oh my God. He's been lying this whole time. And your family just believed him. Will you back me up? I ask. Yes, she says. I will. That night, for the first time in months, I feel like I'm not alone. I identify the core lie holding his reputation together. It's not just the business investment. That's only the beginning. The real foundation of his credibility is this. He's positioned himself as the responsible one. The one who understands money. The one who makes good decisions. The one the family can trust. Everything flows from that. And it's all built on a single false story, that he was the one who prevented a financial disaster. If that story falls apart, every decision made because of it falls apart too. The trust, the authority, the credibility, all of it was built on sand. It's tied to money and trust in the most literal way. He gained the family's financial trust by lying about his role in saving their money. That's the linchpin. I think about pulling it, and I wonder what happens to everything else. 2 weeks later, I'm at a family dinner. Joshua's there, comfortable and confident. He's telling a story about a business decision he made at work. He's the hero of the story, of course. He's mocking my silence. He looks at me and smirks. You're quiet tonight, Maya. I just smile. You good? He asks, and there's this condescending tone, like he thinks I'm fragile. Yeah, I'm good, I say. He relaxes completely. He thinks I'm beaten. He thinks my silence means I have nothing. He's so sure of his victory that he becomes careless. He says something he shouldn't. He's talking about the business investment from 5 years ago, and he's bragging about how he handled it and minimized the damage. But then he adds, I mean, it was a close call, but I've always been better at crisis management than Maya. My mom is nodding along. And he keeps going. He admits too much, too casually. He says, honestly, I think if I hadn't been there, we would have lost everything. The lie is right there in the open. Clear and undeniable. And I'm the only one who hears it for what it is. I align documents, messages, and memories. 3 sources, always 3. For the business investment lie, I have 1. My dad's voicemail saying I caught the error, 2. The written notes in my dad's handwriting documenting my role, and 3. The accountant's direct confirmation of what I did. 3 sources. Same conclusion. For the family memory about the vase, I have 1. The old text message from my mom about the incident, 2. The photo from that day where Joshua is holding the ball, and 3. My own crystal clear memory. For every major lie, I have cross-checks. I realize that someone else was blamed for Joshua's mistakes publicly. Not just me. I find an old family email thread where Joshua threw a work colleague under the bus for a mistake he actually made. The colleague got fired. I have the email chain. I have the dates. I have his original admission in a text message that he made the mistake. The colleague never even knew Joshua blamed him. I could reach out. But I don't. This isn't about destroying Joshua. This is about truth. I ask him a simple question he can't answer without lying. I call Joshua and ask him to meet me for coffee. He sounds suspicious. We don't meet one-on-one anymore, but he agrees. We sit in a quiet booth, and I ask, who caught the error in Dad's business investment 5 years ago? He looks at me funny. What? Why are you asking that now? Just answer the question, I say. He shifts uncomfortably. He knows something is wrong, but he's still confident. I did. I identified it. Are you sure? I ask. He chooses the lie. He chooses to double down. And I realize, he's not even going to be defensive. He's going to keep lying, keep defending his false version of himself, keep insisting he's the hero. That's when I know for sure that he'll never tell the truth on his own. I share proof individually, never as an attack. First, I go to my dad. I bring the voicemail. I play it for him. I watch his face as he remembers what he said about me 5 years ago. Dad, I need you to listen to this, I say. He listens. His eyes get wet. I had forgotten I said this, he admits. But I remember now. You were the one. Joshua didn't help with this. I know, I say. But the family thinks he did. Next, I go to Chloe with the family accountant's contact information. I ask her to reach out and confirm what she remembers. She does. The accountant tells her the same thing he told me. Then I talk to my aunt, the one who heard Joshua's retelling of my life. I ask her if she remembers a specific thing he said about me. I remind her of the lie. And I show her a text message from that same week that proves the lie wasn't true. She looks ashamed. I should have checked before believing him, she says. You didn't know to check, I tell her. He's good at lying. People start comparing notes. The family asks for a meeting. Joshua's smart. When he realizes something's coming, he tries to get ahead of it. He revises his version before anyone officially confronts him. He tells my mom that he might have been exaggerating about his role in the investment decision. He says he helped a little but that it wasn't a big deal. This is damage control. This is him trying to soften the blow. But it's too late. A recording contradicts him in his own voice. The family plays the voicemail from our dad. In it, my dad says explicitly, Maya caught the error. Joshua didn't help. Joshua hears his own father's voice saying that he wasn't the one. His face goes pale. A previously quiet relative speaks up, confirming what I said. It's my aunt. She tells the family about another time she remembers Joshua taking credit for something. She says it clearly, I was there. His not being honest about what happened. The room turns, not toward me, but toward him. I'm not the broken one anymore. I'm not the unreliable one. I'm the one who was telling the truth. Evidence is laid out calmly. No accusations. Just facts. The voicemail. The notebook. The accountant's statement. The text messages. The timeline. The memories. Each piece is presented clearly. Each piece adds to the picture. Joshua realizes everyone knows. He can see it in their faces. This isn't a conversation he can talk his way out of. He tries to minimize. He says it was a long time ago. He says he was young and didn't understand. He says he didn't mean to take credit, it just happened. No one supports him. My parents are quiet. My aunt is quiet. Chloe is quiet. And in that silence, I understand. They're not just realizing Joshua lied. They're realizing what his lies cost me. They're realizing that the entire family narrative about who I am is false. They're realizing they believed him and abandoned me. The family revisits past decisions. The trustee decision is questioned. The smaller trust share is discussed. Years of exclusion and blame are examined in a new light. The family acknowledges how my image was damaged to protect his. My mother cries. She says, I should have listened to you. I should have trusted you. My father says he's sorry for the nod. He says he was wrong. They offer apologies, from everyone except Joshua. He's quiet. He's alone in the room full of people who now see him differently. Trust withdraws quietly. Invitations stop. Authority dissolves. No one is cruel to him. No one cuts him off completely. But everything changes subtly. When he speaks at family dinners, people exchange glances. When he offers advice, no one listens. When he tries to coordinate family events, no one responds quickly. He's not excluded. He's just no longer central. One day, he asks me to fix it. He pulls me aside and says, I know things are weird right now. Can you help me? Can you tell them I'm sorry? Can you help me explain? I look at him. And I realize he's asking me to do what he did to me, to use my voice to protect his reputation. I decline. Not out of anger, out of self-respect. No, I say. That's something you need to do. He looks shocked. Like he expected me to fix him, to heal the damage, to save his image like I was supposed to save everything else. But I'm done saving him. I didn't prove my worth by destroying him. I proved it by surviving the truth. By staying quiet when I needed to. By documenting when others would have just suffered. By speaking only when I had proof. I proved it by letting the truth speak for itself. He made his choices. He told his lies. He built his reputation on my erased contributions. And now he has to face what that costs. Not because I destroyed him, but because the truth did. I'm at peace with that. I'm at peace with myself. I don't need his apology or his acknowledgement to know my own worth. I never did. The nod my father gave 5 years ago doesn't matter anymore. Because I know what I know. I know what I did. I know the truth. And I let it speak for itself.